Fine,
How
sir.
are you? Fine. Uh, we'll discuss your questions later,
Yes, sir.
your problems later. You might have some queries, some questions. But before uh, going into your problems, I have some questions there for practice. Some are
Yes, sir.
revision questions. Revision questions.
Which
I
recording?
will. You might have forgotten them or just refresh. To refresh, I'm asking you some questions that from old papers. Question number 10. Change the following sentence into passive. Number A. Somebody is watching us. How will just change into passive? Huh?
Yes.
Somebody is watching us.
I'm not
Are you
seeing
listening?
screen.
Uh, Perhaps ask Susan, sir.
If it's is there problem in screen? What are you seeing? Is this Asim?
Yes, sir, I'm Asim.
Haven't you
Uh,
seen the question number 10 that you
Question
have
you
seen
haven't
before?
seen. Question.
No, sir, here is no any question. Here is only presentation active, and there is your name, and there down snap video podium.
Okay. Okay.
Podium.
Is anyone seeing the screen or not? Any else?
I'm seeing.
I will start again. Okay. Okay. I
Uh,
will cancel and do it again.
Student sir will help you.
Now, Asim, are you seeing now?
No, sir, I'm
Mr.
not
Asim
seeing.
Yogi?
Mm, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Now, okay. Pause or continue.
Somebody
I'm
is
not seeing,
watching
sir.
us.
It's
You haven't
problem
seen
with
the
your
question.
name. Any other who is there, please interact with sir.
Anyway, somebody is watching us. What is passive? Those of you who have seen questions, just reply it. Can you change it into passive? Why are you silent? Why are you silent?
Some
Try,
have
try.
technical problems. Excuse me, sir. Some have
Anjita.
technical problem. Their microphone is not working.
I have no problem here, but there might be problem with the students.
Asmita Arel, Hemanti Budathoki, are you listening to us? We need your reply. Who is listening? Please say your name.
I'm listening, sir.
You are
Uh,
listening, but you are not seeing the screen. Any other?
Yes, sir. I'm also not seeing any question here.
no, no, there's no
Now it's
question now. Voice. Are you hearing voice?
There is only name of Citizen Adhikari.
yeah. I am not showing screen now.
Uh, the voice. You are hearing the voice, Sinister's voice and my voice.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Pause.
I'm hearing your voice, but I'm not seeing any question
Okay.
on the screen.
Asim. Asim.
He
Yes,
will
sir.
put.
Yes, sir.
He
Interact
will
Yes,
with
sir.
put.
Yes,
all
sir.
sir hearing the question. Okay.
Wha-
Even if
I'm
you are not seeing that. Pause.
yes, sir.
Uh,
Pause.
uh, are you?
Most of the students have problem in their microphone, so they are unable to interact with you. Please continue. You can continue now, sir.
Yeah, without seeing the questions.
You are seeing it now, yeah?
I have seen the question.
Okay. Student,
Hello,
other student might have
hello,
been
students.
seeing.
Hello, students.
They are unable to
Hello.
talk with you, sir. Paul, sir,
Uh,
most of the students are unable to talk with you because they have problem with their microphone. They are hearing
their
you, but
micro,
not. Okay.
uh, their microphone problem. They are
Yeah.
listening to me, but I can't hear them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm, that's problem, isn't it? Uh, just I'll speak myself
Yeah.
one
Okay, sir.
side. They will
Okay.
they
I'm
will listening
I'm
to me.
recording. I'm recording this. Please,
Uh,
you go forward, sir. I
uh,
will put that in the
okay,
group, and student will
okay,
see later on.
okay. I'll just tell them answers to the questions.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Perhaps they are listening, or you will forward it. Somebody is watching us. We are being watched. We are being watched. Don't write somebody uh, by somebody. If you write by somebody, that will be wrong. Nobody is giving me money. Passive is I am not being given money. I am not being given money. The present continuous tense. No, negative is I am not being given money. It's negative. That's why I'm not being given money. A policeman is questioning the man. Here, present continuous tense. The man is being questioned by a policeman. The man is being questioned by a policeman. They are following us. We are being followed by them. Is anyone reading the book? Is interrogative sentence. Present continuous tense. It's interrogative. Is the book being read? Is the book being read? Now, advice. Uh, Give piece of advice to these people. My wife has left me. There are different ways of giving advice. There are different ways of giving advice you can use. Uh, you should, you ought to, if I were you, uh, you would better. There are different 5, 6 options we have already done. But you can use any one or any 2 or 3 ways. You can do all using one, say, one method. My wife has left me, you see, uh, left me. You should marry, uh, you should marry again. You should marry another good woman. Yeah. Uh, I have lost my English book. You see, I have. You ought to. You can use ought to, or you can use should. You should um, ask your friends. You should ask your friends. Number C, I have lost my wallet. Wallet is purse. Wallet is a purse where we put money. Uh, say, you should inform the policeman. You should you should complain to the policeman. You can write it. Uh, or you should search the pockets of everybody. You can write that way. Should, ought to, or you'd better. There are different ways you have done. You should see the meaning into words exercise. Number C, uh, Now D, I'm unable to get good. Uh, I'm not unable to get good marks in exam. Uh, you should study hard. Uh, you should or you ought to go to tuition class. You ought to, you should. I can't go to sleep at night. That's one question. I can't go to sleep at night. Uh, here, uh, I can't go to sleep at night is question. You should, you ought to, you'd better. Beginning with these strokes, you can write. You should eat sleeping tablet or um, you'd better read books um, before you go to bed. You should try reading books. You should try reading books. Now, filling the gaps with in, on, question number 12, there is fill in the gaps with in, on, at, for, or about. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, on, at, for, about. Five prepositions. Uh, Fill in the blanks. He stood the entrance of college. He stood the entrance of college. What do you say? Can you tell me? He stood the entrance of college. He stood at the entrance of college. At number B, a cow is grazing the field. Grazing in the field area area of the field. Number C, they are going long walk. They are going long walk. And here you use they are going for a long walk. This should be also is missing there. They are going for a long walk. Number D. She has written a book flowers. She has written a book flowers. Is about the flowers. About flowers. Number E. In summer, there are always flies keep on stealing. In summer, there are always flies on the kitchen ceiling. On the kitchen, on. This way we have used five prepositions in five sentences. Now, rewrite the sentences below using although, spite of. This is last unit, unit 24. Perhaps while we were in the class doing towards, we were doing somewhere unit 20. We haven't done 21, 22, 23, 24. 4 units we haven't done, but you should practice them. Uh, in the photos, I have seen that to Susan sir. I have given instructions there.
Paul
Uh,
sir,
yes,
uh, I am here mute. I will mute here. You will open unmute that. Okay. Please unmute from the your computer, sir. There is disturbance from echo. Paul sir, we are not hearing you. Please unmute. Paul sir, अनम्युट गर्नुहोस् त सर यता लेफ्ट साइडबाट
हेलो
पल सर
अनम्युट
ओके
माइक्रोफोन
ओके
के
सर
कुन
भइसक्यो सर भइसक्यो
Okay. Okay. Now you are listening. Uh,
या सर या
okay. We haven't done unit 21, 22, 20, 24, 4 units. Although there are only few exercises, important exercises, that I have sent important exercises and page numbers of the meaning into words uh, in uh, in a photo to Citizen sir. Perhaps he will make them available to you. You
ओके
should practice them. This is last unit. Rewrite the sentence below using although and in spite of. Although or in spite of. That we haven't done in the classroom, but that although we have done such questions in class 10 also, uh, I'm not doing this question here. You should practice first. Is unit 24. Unit 24, last unit, although in spite of. That's very, very important. You should first practice that yourself. And in our next discussion, uh, we will, I'll give you solution. Looking, solution of all questions there, looking at the exercise of the book. We'll do that but you should try first. If you try first, then I have given exercises, homework exercises, say to you. Then only we will discuss later. First you try, then only we will be able to discuss and you will understand. Not I am not doing this. Now I am moving to next uh, types of questions. Let's let's go. Let's move to next question, sir. Oh, I think this is okay. Thank you. It's all right. It's all right. Change the voice of the following sentences. Voice is always important. Uh, First time also we did. This time the gunmen are holding the hostages in an old farmhouse. Citizens, sir, they are not seeing the questions, isn't it?
they are seeing the
They are
question
not
but
seeing the
they are
questions.
not unable to respond by voice sir are you
They have
seeing
seen the questions.
yeah they are
They are
seeing the
seeing the
question sir
question.
yeah yes sir yeah
Oh, they are seeing the questions also.
yeah
That's all right. Yes, that's all right. If they listen to me, that's okay.
yes
Gunmen
yes
are holding the hostages in an old farmhouse. It's present continuous tense. The gunman is subject. The hostages is object. The hostages are being held. The hostages are being held by the gunman in an old farmhouse. Number B. The company pays her a huge salary. Uh, uh, her is object here. Although there are two objects, double objects, better do from her. There are two objects here. She is paid. She is paid a huge salary by the company. She is paid. Simple present tense. This simple present tense voice. Number C. People give me something to eat now and again. Give me something as also me and something. There are two objects, double objects. Let's do from me. Uh, we can do from direct and indirect object both, but let's do from indirect object, me. I am given I am given something to eat now and again. Don't use by people. By people should not be people and anybody, someone, say somebody, everyone, everybody. Uh, uh, Say no one, nobody. We should avoid them in passive voice. Number D. I always get blamed if the food is not good. This is passive voice. I always get blamed. This is passive voice where uh, there are two types of I practice two types of using get. One is using be verbs is RM was where be been being. One is using be verb. One is using get. It's already in passive voice. I always get blamed. That's why we should change into active voice, not into passive. It's already in passive voice. That's why uh, I always get blamed. Means I am always blamed. No, 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 not. They always use they. They always blame me. They always blame me if the food is not good. Active voice. We have used they ourselves. It has the subject agent we have used here. They always blame me if the food is not good. Number E. Is anyone using this room? Present continuous tense. This is interrogative sentence. Is this room
This room
being used?
being used.
Is
Turn off
this room
the
being
Turn
used?
off
microphone.
the microphone.
Also,
Is this room?
Is this room?
Yes.
also
Yes.
again there is
Again,
disturbance. I will
Again,
mute all.
I
You
will
on
use
mute.
all
Okay.
use on. Okay.
unmute.
Unmute.
Continue.
Okay. Now, next question is question number 9. Write two sentences about each of those people. Uh, Peter is unemployed. This question is not in our meaning into words. Say practice book, students book. This is from workbook. This question is asked in the board exam. This question has been asked from workbook. Although we have done similar type of question somewhere a bit, but this question exercise, this question is completely taken from workbook. Here, example is Peter is unemployed. One is present perfect tense using at negative. He hasn't found a job yet. Hasn't. Present perfect tense and at last. At the end of sentence, at. We use at in negative sentence, present perfect tense. He is still looking for a job. Still. Is present continuous. Still is adverb of present continuous tense. At is adverb of present perfect tense. And still is adverb of present continuous tense. One A is present perfect, B is uh, present continuous tense. A is negative, B is affirmative. We have to make two sentences. One present perfect tense negative using at. Another is present continuous tense using still. Jack is words can be different. Jack is library book is over. Jack's library book is overdue. Jack's library book is overdue means Jack has not returned. Jack has not returned library book yet. Jack has not returned library book or book at. Uh, Number A. Number B. He is still or Jack is still reading the book. Jack is still reading the book. Present continuous tense is still. B. Olga's article is only half written. Means let's make one present perfect tense negative. Olga has not finished his article yet. Olga hasn't finished his article yet. Number B, present continuous noun is using still. He, you can use he, or Olga is still writing his article. Olga is still writing his article. Use still, don't forget. Number C, Alex doesn't have driving license. Means, let's make one present perfect tense, negative. Doesn't have means Axel has not passed driving test yet. Olga hasn't passed his driving test yet. Number B, he is still trying. He is still learning driving. Axel is still learning to drive. Can that present continuous tense? Number D, Wendy's house is still in the market. Wendy's house is still in the market. It is simple present tense. Now we have to make one present perfect tense, one present continuous tense. Wendy hasn't sold his house in the market yet. Wendy hasn't sold his house in the market yet. Present continuous tense. Wendy is still staying. Is still staying in the house, staying in the same house in the market. Wendy is still staying in the same house in the market. You can write that way. Number E, the hostages are still in the building. Hostages means bandi. Bandi. अपहरण गरेर बन्दी बनाएको. Hostages. There are some people, they are say putting somebody in a house. They are strictly kept them in a house. They are not allowed to go out. Bandiहरू. The hostages, they have, you can use a subject yourself. They have not freed, F-R-E-E-D, freed. They have not freed the hostages yet. Or they haven't set the hostages free yet. You can write that also. And number B, the hostages are still living, still staying in the building, or they are still kidnappers. You can read kidnappers. The kidnappers are still putting the hostages, keeping the hostages in the building. They, kidnappers, still keeping the hostages in the building. Now, question number 10, this easy question, very easy question. Generally, you find this question easy, I know. Used to. He lived in France as a boy. Used to. Used to plus V1. Used to plus V1 structure. He used to live in France as a boy. At one time there were trees in the garden. At one time there used to be trees in the garden. Where V1 is B. Where is Bob? V1 is B. They came out in those days. They used to come, C-O-M-E come, B1. They used to come out in those days. I was in love with her. This is was, is, B2. So B1 is B, always B. Was, were, could be. I used to be in love with her. I used to be in love with her. How did you spend the winter evenings? That's question. It's interrogative. How did you use? How did you use to spend the winter evenings? Don't write here USED because there is did. That's why write only USE. Now 11. Question number 11. Question number 11. Okay. It's a very, very important question. It's a very, very important question. Every year this question is asked. This type of question is always asked, but we haven't done it. And this is actually in Unit 21. In Unit 21.3, we haven't done. I don't think we have done it. I forgot. Perhaps we haven't done it in class. May have done, but I'm not sure. But very important question. You should, even though we are not in class, you should keep on practicing them, and you should keep on asking me, say, on online or through phone. Make two sentences here using to and not enough. Here, to for positive sentence, not enough, negative sentence. Not dot dot enough. For example, here, one is done there. I'll not read the. You can't drink fruit juice every day. It's expensive. So the same thing we can write in two ways. Using to, using enough. The fruit juice is too expensive to drink every day. The next is the fruit juice is not cheap enough. This is missing there. The fruit juice is not cheap enough to drink every day. Means these three sentences mean the same. The same. The same thing can be retold, can be written in different ways. There are two sentences here in the past in question, but there these two sentences have been linked. These two sentences have been joined into one in both using to and using enough. Let's try the question after reading the example. Let's read. She spoke very fast. I could not understand her. I've told you this very, very important question. You have to understand these structures. Anyhow, she spoke very fast. I could not understand her. We have to make one sentence using to. Number one, she spoke too fast. Don't use very. She spoke too fast to understand her. She spoke too fast to understand her. Number one. Number two. Now using enough. She didn't. Negative. She didn't speak. She didn't speak slow enough. Opposite word. Opposite word of fast is slow. She didn't speak slow enough. Don't use fast enough. She didn't speak slow enough to understand her. She didn't speak fast. No, she didn't speak slow enough slow enough to understand her. Number B, don't send your son to school. He is very young. Here we should write your son. Use from here. He means your son. Your son is too young. Don't use very. Too young. धेरै सानो छ. Too young means धेरै सानो छ. Young means not jawan here. Child, सानो. Too young to send to school. To send to school. Look there, to send. Number 2, now let's use not dot dot enough. Your son isn't or is not. Your son isn't old enough. What's opposite word of young? Old. Like fast, slow, young, old. Your son isn't old enough. Negative is enough. Enough to send to school. Number C. The ceiling was very high. My mother could not touch it. Here, the ceiling was too high. Don't use very. The ceiling was too high for my mother to touch. To touch. To touch it, you can write it, or you may not write it. The ceiling was too high for my mother to touch. Number 2, the ceiling was not or wasn't. Wasn't. What's opposite word of high? Low. Opposite word of high is low. The ceiling wasn't low enough. Low enough for my mother to touch. Or to touch it, or to touch. The ceiling was wasn't, yeah. The ceiling wasn't low enough for my mother to touch. Now number D, you'd better not sit on the ground. It's damp. These all questions are from the exercise 21.3 exercise, so unit 21.3. All these questions have been asked, are found in the book, textbook, meaning into words. Same questions are there. You'd better not sit on the ground. It's damp. Means the ground is too damp. Damp is adjective. Oshilo, chisho. The ground is too damp to sit. To sit on it, or just write to sit. To sit is enough. Too damp. Now, not enough. What is opposite of damp? Chisho, oshilo, dry. Opposite word of damp is dry. The ground isn't dry enough. Opposite word of damp is dry. The ground isn't dry enough to sit, or to sit on it, or to sit just. Number E, we arrived late. We could not attend the meeting. Here, we arrived too late. Late is adjective. We arrived too late to attend the meeting. We arrived too late to attend the meeting. And number 2, second is, not enough. What's opposite of word of late? Means fast. Fast is opposite word of late. We didn't arrive. Negative. Always negative. Second is always negative. When you use enough, it should be always negative. We didn't arrive fast enough to attend the meeting. That's why it's very very important one. Though we perhaps didn't practice in the class. You should do it, and we'll uh, next discussion class. It will be clear. I'll give you some structure also, some structures which will very important structures later. I'll put them in our um, address. Now, next question. Okay, next question
Okay, sir, just
is next question is
so, sir.
okay.
Question is this page is trying to read. I don't know it can be rotated or not.
This is a question anyway. I can read the
Yes.
questions. I can read questions. I can read questions anyway.
Okay, I'll
Uh,
try in a moment.
to turn it right position you are trying.
Yeah, yeah, sir.
If it takes time and it's uh, doesn't matter, I can read.
It
Students can understand.
it shouldn't take time, sir. Hello, students, are you listening to us?
I'm listening whether students are listening or
Hello.
not. Now it's in order. It's now in the right position.
Okay, okay, sir. You can continue, sir.
Hello, hello guys, students. uh, these questions are from Link English. Link English is very easy, and Link English, the questions in Link English were easy. I think you will not make mistake there, any mistake there. One is put the following words in alphabetical order. Put the following words in alphabetical order. Uh, you should you should write them in order. Number one, number two, number three, number four. You should give numbers also. Uh, you should write not in horizontal way, but in vertical. In the vertical way, you should write number one, number two, number three, this way, numbering. Uh, here, that is not, anyway, you can do that yourself, right in order. Question number 2. In which quarter on the dictionary do you find the following words? Do you know? In the dictionary has divided into 4 quarters. Alphabets, 26 alphabets have been divided into 4 groups. 4 groups: A to D, E to L, second quarter; A to D, first quarter; E to L, second quarter; M to R, third quarter; and S to Z, fourth quarter or last quarter. You can say last quarter. Uh, for example, irony, IRONY, in which quarter we find in the dictionary, right? Irony, and this is second quarter. Negotiation, the word negotiation in the dictionary is found third quarter. Badder, although the spelling is odd. Anyway, in which quarter we can find the first quarter, B, first quarter. Menthol, M. Look at M, first letter. This is third quarter again. So again, third quarter. Right, third quarter, first quarter, last quarter. Now, question number 3. Complete the following sentences choosing the correct word from the pairs given in bracket. Here, this is very important. There are 2 exercises in Link English. There are 2 exercises, these types of questions. Exercises, there are 2, and every year you are asked. In Link English, there are 2 exercises there. You should not get off the bus until it is stationary. Stationary, ARY and ERY. ARY, stationary, is correct. Until it is stationary. Stationary means stops. Stationary means stop. Another stationary means stationary where we buy materials, say writing materials, ERY, that is not used here. Write only which is suitable and underline it. Number 2, he was in accident last week. He died. He was killed. He was killed in accident last week. He was died. Is wrong. He was killed. I need hello, citizen sir.
Yes, sir.
Some type of noise disturbing.
Krishna, sir. Okay, sir. I will manage that.
Yes, sir. Noise.
Okay, sir. Continue. I will manage that.
I need a sheet of paper.
उपमा नगरपालिकाले त निकाले त रिजन 8 क्लासका
I need a sheet of paper. Loose, LOAC, lose. Loose, LOAC, lose. We need adjective. LOAC, lose is verb. LOAC, loose is adjective. Lose it. LOOSE. Number 4, the college principal. You always make mistake here. PAL, principal, means Pramukh, head teacher, principal, PAL. PRINCIPLE, principal, PLE is Siddhant. Okay, principal means Siddhant, rule. Okay, that's why sometimes while writing application also sometimes you write PRI to the principal. While writing application, you write sometimes PRINCIPLE. That's blunder. That's blunder. Don't write that way. Principal, head. Always write PAL. College principal is PAL, not PLE. PLE is principles, सिद्धान्तहरू, economic, principal politics. Now, number 4, write a short description of your locality in about uh, 60 words, in one paragraph. Write in one paragraph.
Paul sir. Paul sir.